Hi everyone. Medicare Part B premiums for next year, 2025, will increase from $174.70 this year to $185 a month. Those of you who have Medicare Part B might think that's the price you'll pay next year. However, some of you may receive a letter asking you to pay a higher premium. Medicare premiums could go up to about $700 a month. Why is that? And is there a way to appeal? That's the topic I want to share in this video. Medicare premiums. Let me talk about Part B first. The Part B premium for next year that you pay each month depends on your income from 2 years ago. That means Medicare looks at the income you had in 2023 to see if your income falls within the range to qualify for the $185 a month premium. If your income exceeds the limit for that rate, Medicare will require you to pay a higher premium for the entire year of 2025. If any of you receive a letter stating that next year, 2025, you will pay more than $185 a month for Medicare Part B, it means you fall into a category they refer to as being subject to income-related monthly adjustment amounts. Let me bring up this chart for you to take a look. This chart provided by Medicare explains why you have to pay a higher price. It details your income from 2023. If it exceeds these limits, you will have to pay more. Okay, everyone, take a look at this chart. This is for the Medicare Part B premiums for the entire year of 2025. The Medicare Part B premiums for the upcoming year depend on your income from 2 years ago, meaning 2023. It also depends on whether you filed taxes as single or jointly with your spouse. Here it states that if you filed taxes as single, I'll use this as an example to make it simpler. You can look at the other sections if they apply to your situation. If your income in 2023 as a single filer was $106,000 or less, you won't have to pay anything extra. Your monthly premium for Medicare Part B will remain at $185 a month. Okay, now looking at the next section, it says that if your income is more than $106,000, meaning between $106,000 and $133,000, you'll have to pay an additional $74 a month. This means instead of your Medicare premium being $185 a month, you'll have an additional $74 added, making your total monthly payment $259 a month for Medicare Part B for the entire year of 2025. Before I continue with this topic, you might notice that it doesn't seem fair. The Medicare premiums you pay each month are based on your income from 2 years ago, and this keeps rolling forward in the future. It's as if having a higher income means you're penalized by having to pay extra. It doesn't feel fair, does it? And as you look at this chart, keep following along to see how your income from two years ago determines the amounts. For example, in this last section here, those of you with an income of $500,000 or more in 2023 will have to pay an additional $443.90 per month. This means the Medicare Part B premium for each month will be $628.90 instead of $185 a month. You'll be stuck with this amount for the entire year of 2025. Now, this is what I've been sharing so far about the single filers. For those of you who filed jointly, it follows your combined income to determine whether these extra charges will apply to your Part B premiums. Okay, so far I've been talking about Medicare Part B, but that's not all. If any of you have Medicare Part D, which covers prescription drugs, and your income falls within these ranges, you'll also have to pay extra. Let me pull up this chart for you to take a look at what applies to Medicare Part D. Okay, this is the chart for Medicare Part D premiums for next year, 2025, everyone. The situation is similar to that of Medicare Part B. It depends on your income. I'll use the single filer column as an example. If your income in 2023 was $106,000 or less, the price you pay for Part D in 2025 is simply what the plan costs. However, if your income in 2023 was more than $106,000, meaning between $106,000 and $133,000, you'll have to pay an additional $13.70 per month. This will apply for the entire year. Now, for those with an income of $500,000 or more in 2023, you'll have to pay an additional $85.80 per month for Part D. As you can see, if you're in a situation where you're paying these higher premiums, for example, $85.80 more for Part D and $628.90 for Part B, you're looking at paying more than $700 a month for Medicare Part B and Part D combined. Some of you may fall into this category or face similar additional charges depending on your income levels. So those of you who receive a letter stating that your Medicare premium for next year will be higher are in a situation referred to as income-related monthly adjustment amounts. So if you receive a letter stating that your Medicare premiums for 2025 are set at a higher rate, do you have to accept it as is? Many people think, oh, this is a letter from the government. So whatever they send, I just have to comply. Is that true? Actually, not entirely. There are certain circumstances you should review to see if you qualify for exceptions. If you do, you can appeal and request that your premium be lowered, potentially to $185 a month instead of paying the higher rate for the entire year of 2025. Here's what you need to look at. If your situation falls under any of these exceptions, even though your income was higher in 2023, any significant changes in your circumstances over the past 2 years may qualify you for a reduction. In these cases, you should contact Social Security to file an appeal and have them review your situation to lower your rate. Why am I saying contact Social Security when this is about Medicare? That's because these matters, whether it's enrollment or premium adjustments for Medicare, are not handled by Medicare itself, but by Social Security. They oversee these processes for Medicare. And these exceptions are related to life-changing events. If you fall into one of these situations, you should contact Social Security for assistance. And here are the types of life-changing events: marriage, divorce annulment, death of your spouse, work stoppage, work reduction, loss of income-producing property, loss of pension income, employer settlement payment. These are the key situations that may qualify you for an appeal. Let me provide one or two examples of such situations. For instance, In 2023, you filed taxes as single, and your income exceeded $106,000. However, in the past 2 years, you got married, and the combined income of you and your spouse now falls below the threshold set by Medicare for couples, which is $212,000 or less. This means that although you filed as single in 2023, your circumstances have changed. You're now married and filing jointly, and your combined income isn't as high as the limit Medicare uses for couples. In this case, they may adjust your premium to a lower rate instead of charging you the higher premium based on your previous single filing status. This is an example of how life changes like marriage can qualify you for an appeal to reduce your Medicare premium. And there are other situations as well. For example, in the past 2 years, you may have gone through a divorce. At that time, you filed taxes jointly with your spouse, and your income exceeded the threshold Medicare set. However, now you're no longer filing jointly because of the divorce, and your income as a single filer is not as high as the limit they use for individuals. Another situation could be the death of a spouse in the past 2 years, which changes your filing status and household income. Or perhaps you had a high income while you were working, but now your income is lower because you've stopped working or reduced your work hours. In cases like these, you can contact Social Security to file an appeal and request that your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums be adjusted to a lower rate. These life-changing events are valid reasons for appealing and potentially reducing your premium costs. All right, everyone. This is the topic I wanted to share in this video. For those of you who receive a letter about your Medicare premiums for next year, stating that you'll have to pay more than the basic rate because you fall under the income-related monthly adjustment amounts category, take a moment to review your situation. Check if you qualify for one of the exceptions, and consider filing an appeal with Social Security to request a reduction in your premiums. That's a bit of what I wanted to share in this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.